Welcome, folks, one and all, to Let's Play the Oregon Trail Complete Edition with the Final Cut expansion, released in 2013 for the PC. The Final Cut expansion was released recently. The Oregon Trail is a parody of the Oregon Trail, a famous educational game which was made to teach people about the Oregon Trail, which was the route that was typically taken by people in America seeking a better life on the east coast of the United States, or in the Great Plains area. The Oregon Trail is a game which adds zombies to the mix and a modern setting, and I've never played a zombie game before, apart from Resident Evil and Project Zomboid and Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate, Okay, I've played a lot of games that have zombies in them, but zombies are in a lot of games. This, however, is a game pretty much exclusively about zombies. It is done in a retro style, a sort of an homage to the original Oregon Trail. Plus, I also think that the style of graphics really suits the game in question. It also has fantastic music. This game is not a story about a joyous trek across America to get to the East Coast. This is about survival from the zombie hordes. An unnamed zombie apocalypse has happened, and you, leading a daring group of 4 other survivors, will be taking your vehicle over to a safe haven in the East Coast of America, starting in Washington, D.C., trying its best to emulate the rough route that you would have taken in the Oregon Trail. But the expansion does add a lot of different things. It adds alternate routes and new minigames and interesting other little additions. This game is not easy. You can quite easily die through no fault of your own, through random events. The original Oregon Trail also had random events that could hamper your progress, and of course you have to survive the zombies. I have never completed the Oregon Trail, but hopefully at some point during these recordings I will. For now, let us go and play. What game I had I have removed so that I could start a new one. Let us pick a game mode. There is an endless one where you just keep going and going, but for now, let us pick the campaign. Let us pick a normal difficulty. I don't want to play on easy, and I don't think I'm ready for either of the other two. You could explain the difficulty here, though. The difficulty you pick will determine the amount of supplies you can scavenge at the start of your journey. Difficulty also affects enemy speed, landmark distances, and event occurrence rates. You are rewarded for choosing a higher difficulty with a score modifier at the end. This is true for both the original Oregon Trail, where who you picked to be the head of your wagon, the better the profession was when you got to the East Coast, the more points you got. You got very few points for picking, like, a lawyer, but you started with a lot of money. But if you picked a farmer, you'd start with very little money in comparison, but a lot of score. The original Oregon Trail had that as a feature to begin with, but in the director's cut they removed it. I'd also like to say that this game has a long history of different modes. Originally, it started off as a free Adobe Flash Player game, and then later a Facebook app. And then in 2012, it was released on mobile devices, and only in 2013 was it released in the director's cut, I believe, on PC and I think Macintosh at the same time. I'm not entirely sure about that one. I've owned the game for a while and I've tinkered with it from time to time, but I've always been a fan of the original Oregon Trail. So of course, I'll be fine with the Oregon Trail, right? I don't often complete the Oregon Trail either. Normal. A second controller can be used for dropping co-op during most combat scenarios, after your party joins you. You can find more information on these help files located in the pause menu. You get to choose your character. There is the dude, the lady, and other characters, like Not Clements. Beat Clements quest to unlock. The Road Warrior, defeat the Bandit King to unlock. The King. Meet a stranger at the cabin to unlock. The Director. Earn the I Know a Guy achievement to unlock. Survivor. Travel 10,000 miles in endless mode to unlock. And The Stranger. No idea how to unlock that one. Let us pick The Dude. You played once before to test to see if this worked, and the other times I've played. Would you like to skip the intro sequence? Clements will be sad. I think either way Clements is going to be sad. But we shall not skip the intro this time. We shall play it. It gives you a good introduction to how the game will play. And right at the get-go, zombies. Click on the enemy and draw a line towards yourself to shoot. That zombie will kill us if we let him, but we won't. He is dead. Aha! But there are more zombies, and I am not the best at aiming at long distances. At all. The closer you are, the closer you are, the more likely you are to hit them, and I'm out of ammo. Well, this concludes this Let's Play. Oh! It is Clements! He has come to save us! Well done, Clements. Well then, looks like I just saved your bacon. I reckon we stand a better chance out there if we stick together. My name is Clements. I used to be a priest. Not much use for those nowadays. What's your name, partner? My name is Loopy. Loopy McGoopin. Just call me Loopy. The pleasure's all mine, Loopy. Listen, even with the two of us, we won't survive very long. Everyone I trusted died a while back. Do you know anyone we could count on in a pinch? I know a few people. I know a man called Spunty. I know a man called Gaston. And I also know a man called Phil. The reason why I know a man called Phil is every time I did a test recording for this, I ended up naming the final person in the group Phil. So, for no particular reason other than that, the fourth member of the party will indeed be Phil. And I think the third person in the party, there are a lot of choices that I could pick. I mean, Gaston is there, and Spunty and Phil, but the fourth person, that's including Loopy, is a tricky one. It is a tricky one. I think, for now, we shall have Dangmar and his fantastic beard. Are these names correct? I believe they are, Clements. We'll stand a better chance if we're all together. There's a good chance if they're still alive, they will be in the shelter set up in DC. If I have any sense, that is. We're going to need a way to get around. I saw an old station wagon a few blocks back. Those things might not be very reliable, but you'd be surprised how roomy they are. Anyway, let's get moving. You get to pick your ride. There is no bonus with the station wagon, but it is average across the board. There are other vehicles. An SUV, which I need to get to Safe Haven with all my party members to unlock. Oh, I remember how long it took for us to get it in the Super Amazing Wagon Adventure, which is another game that is a homage to the Oregon Trail, but in a different way. And there's the Jag. You need to beat the game in suicidal mode to unlock that. The Interceptor, defeat the Bandit King. I wonder what that is an homage to. And the Classic, collect all skulls in endless mode to unlock. And, of course, a UFO. But, is there anything here? Speed affects miles traveled per hour, durability affects vehicle damage taken, and reliability affects how often parts break. Okay. Now we get shown the controls. That is not a zombie, that is a zombie target. You use WASD to move, and left click to shoot, you aim, and you reload. There are different kinds of guns. Also, you notice you have to have the arrow sort of behind you to aim. I need to get quick on the shot here, because I'm not very good at shooting quickly. I may not be picking the rifle, which is the default weapon, as my choice of armament in this game. But we'll see how it goes. Here is the station wagon. It is, in fact, invulnerable. And so would Clements have been, actually, if I'd have shot him. Let's go in. Alright, I think I've got just enough fuel and food for us to make it to DC in this baby. Let's hit the road. I'll drive. I'm sure nothing bad will happen because of it. Also, this music does a really good job of setting the atmosphere of the game. It really does. This is not going to be a happy journey. Let's go to Washington, D.C., 135 miles. This is pretty much very similar to how the original Oregon Trail screen was, except there are no oxen. Well, this is a good journey so far. Oh, Clements has a broken arm. Well, I'm sure it'll get better. We can just set it, and everything will be absolutely fine, Clements. Clements has dysentery. Well, it wouldn't be an Oregon Trail style game if there wasn't dysentery. But it is all on Clements. We appear to be fine. And there is Washington, D.C. in the distance. Clements was bitten by a zombie. Oh. That's not good, Clements. You're out of fuel. Washington, D.C. I think it's safe to say that the zombies have overrun the people that are here, and there are not many left. Not many left at all. There's a dog, though. The dog seems okay. Just as the station wagon runs out of fuel, you coast into the city. You can hear a radio blaring in a window nearby. Repeat! All survivors who still remain in Washington, D.C. The government has declared a Class 3 biohazard in the area. They will be commencing a nuclear strike within a short few hours. Get out while you can. The city is lost. Looks like we have a time problem. Sorry, that sort of threw me off there hearing about that. I'll go look for your friends at the shelter. Meanwhile, you should go scavenging for supplies. I've heard about a place on the west coast that's supposed to be a safe haven from all this chaos. Let's meet back here and head out. Here, take my journal. I've written down everything I know about surviving on the road. It should help you decide what you think we may need on the trip. This was also very similar to the original Oregon Trail. The fact that you need to pick the right amount of things that you think you need. But the journal is going to be essential here. Clements notes. Fuel. You can travel for 4 hours on a tank of gas. I find that if you want to have at least 8 tanks with you at any given times, you can make it to your next destination. And even then, these suckers seem to get lost or stolen all the time. Food. Scavenging is the easiest way to get food, other than all the zombies. Depending on the number of people in your group and how you ration your food, you will burn through your food at a rate of 1 to 3 ounces per person per hour. That means you will be eating an average of 240 ounces a day in a group of 5. 240 ounces a day in a group of 5. We probably want 2 days worth of food then. Ammo. The world has gone to shit. It's a great thing that America loves its guns, because I can't ever seem to kill enough of these zombie bastards. You will be surprised how quickly you burn through them. I've easily gone through a few dozen rounds just scavenging for food, and if you ever find yourself surrounded, you better be packing. Medkits. Sometimes you just need a good old-fashioned medkit. They always seem to perk someone up when they're feeling down. I've seen a guy with a broken arm say he felt at least 30% better after I patched him up with one of these bad boys. Always a good idea to have a handful of these around for emergencies. Money. Although most traders on the road don't find much value in paper money, there are still little pockets of civilization who cling to the old ways. I keep a few hundred on me at any time so I can buy what I need when times get rough. But those merchants really have a funny sense of value for the end times. You should be able to find money while scavenging. Car parts. It's always good to have some spare car parts on you. You don't want to break down in the middle of nowhere and stand around waiting for someone who wants to trade whatever you got for what you need. I always carry a few extra batteries, tires, and mufflers on me. Don't leave home without them. Alright? You'll need to scavenge for scrap if your car breaks down. You can make some general repairs to your vehicle with all the scrap lying around. The more you have, the better the chance it will stick. I usually get repairs with the auto shops myself. It's pricey, but I'm no good with my hands. Alright, with that in mind, we're going to take 5 medkits, 2 tires. You notice it's all in time. Apparently we have 12 hours to scavenge. 5 medkits, 2 tires, 2 mufflers, 2 batteries, 50 money, 16 fuel, 375 food, and 400 bullets. Hopefully we're going to find more bullets out on the road, because that's not a lot of bullets. Also, that's not a lot of food either. But we will find more food on the road. Hopefully. Your friends join the party. There they all are! My friends! Spunty, Gaston, Dangmar, and Phil. Welcome, all of you, and the dog, who has yet to have a name. Do we really bring the dog with us? Alright, I suppose we're bringing the dog with us. Great, everyone's here. There's just one more thing. Back there on the road, one of those things bit me. I'm already not feeling too well, and I can't stand the thought of becoming one of them. You're gonna have to put me down. Oh no, Clemens! We can't put you down, you've been so helpful! Why don't you keep my journal? It may help you out there. Good luck. There is Clemens. And here we are, with a gun. Clemens will stand there forever, until we shoot him. And we have to shoot him. He doesn't want to become a zombie. In the game, you can avoid becoming, you can delay becoming a zombie, but once bitten, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. At least right now. What you do is you hold down the left mouse button and aim like you would before. But you could spin your gun around in a very silly manner, and then completely miss. And Clemens will just sort of watch you as you do this. I'm right over here. All you need to do is shoot me. Do you even know how to aim? Nope, I don't think I do. I'm starting to wonder if you're actually gonna make it to Safe Haven. I'm really wondering. Could you please just shoot me now? It is with great regret that we must shoot you. Oh, just one pixel out. We must shoot you in the foot. And this kills him. Loopy put down Clemens. And now the music changes to one even more grim than the last. And we have two routes. Decent supplies and off-road tires to go to Pittsburgh, 276 miles. Or we go to the Gorge Bridge, which is further away, but I believe it will actually, the next destination will actually get us further along the path. Light supplies and medkit scavenger, but there is a radiation warning. There is radiation there. We will suffer from radiation sickness if we go into that area. This is the whole map. There is radiation here, all here, and here. We're starting here, and we're finishing there. Our objective is to get to there. We are going to head to Pittsburgh. It is 276 miles. Let us go. 276 miles to Pittsburgh, and we will stop as soon as we move on to the next area. A series of bodies are on display on both sides of the road. It is time for us to rest and recuperate, just for now. For that is the end of this video. When we come back, folks, we shall begin our trek into the wilderness of the United States of America after the zombie apocalypse, in the hopes of reaching Safe Haven. If we're lucky, we might make it. I'll catch you then, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.